The Ocucor is a corpus beam pistol fashioned from sentient technology that was originally released in the Fortuna update alongside the Batacor and the Kreska. What makes this weapon stand out is its ability to generate up to 4 extra tendril beams that can lock onto targets outside the main beam, gaining extra damage and crowd control capabilities. The main drawback to this function, however, is that once the weapon is reloaded, the stacks reset to 0 and must be generated again. For its time, this weapon may have been fun to use in its early days. However, the introduction of higher level content such as Steel Path and the release of weapons with similar chain effects such as the Kuga Nucor and the Tenet Cycron have greatly diminished its overall use of the field. It has largely remained undervalued and underutilized. Until today. The introduction of weapon arcanes and new weapon mods can allow us to breathe new life into a weapon that has the potential to be a heavy hitter among other valued sidearms. But you're probably thinking, how in the world could this compare to these? Well, if your response to that was,
well, gentlemen, you have my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Then stick around as we take a refreshed look at the Ocucor. In order to make this weapon sing, we need to address 2 of its drawbacks, its low damage and ammo efficiency. The Ocucor is not known for its raw damage, but with the right mods, we can make its damage output skyrocket. First, we'll start off with Hornet Strike, Prime Pistol Gambit, and Prime Target Cracker to increase our base damage output. Next are our status mods, Pistol Pestilence, Jolt, and Scorch, which will add corrosive and heat elements to our gun. We want to add as many elements as we can so that we can benefit from these next mods. Finally, we have Galvanized Diffusion and Galvanized Shot. Diffusion will give us significantly more multi-shot, while Galvanized Shot will give us additional status and that 40% damage bonus for every unique status affecting a target. Oh, and before I forget, we can also equip Deadhead for our secondary arcane. The reason we opt for Deadhead over Merciless is because we want to kill our targets as quickly as possible in order to generate those extra tendrils. The Ocucor also has pinpoint accuracy, which makes scoring headshots a breeze with this gun. So we've addressed our damage problem, but what about our ammo efficiency? With the Ocucor, you want to reload as little as possible in order to preserve your tendril stacks. Thankfully, we have more than one way to address this problem. Our first and definitive method is Arcane Pistolier, which grants a 60% chance for 102% ammo efficiency on headshots. This is ultimately the equivalent of unlimited ammo for 12 seconds, completely neutralizing the need for the Ocucor to reload. Energized Munitions is a good backup for those who do not have access to Arcane Pistolier. You will not reach unlimited ammo status, but you will consume significantly less ammo while the effect is active. Equipping at least 2 of the synth mods on your companion will allow you to reload 10% of your pistol magazine while holstered. This method of ammo efficiency should be seen as complementary to our previous options as they are far more reliable in conserving ammo. Now that everything is set, it's time to bring this to the firing range. When using this weapon, we want to be as efficient as possible and use every ounce of the mechanics present in this build. Our first 2 tests will be against your standard corrupted test dummies. The difference, however, is that we will prime our weapon with 2 weaker enemies in one test versus the other. As you can see, priming our weapon allows us to build up the additional damage from our mods and arcanes, allowing the Ocucor to handle the heavy units on its own. A second method of priming relies on making our targets more vulnerable to the Ocucor, and we can do this without even stripping their armor. And you're probably wondering, how? The solution is Viral. Inflicting Viral on our targets will greatly increase the damage output of the Ocucor twofold, from the viral status itself and the additional bonus from galvanized shot. As you can see, the addition of the viral status completely melts the health bars of these enemies in a matter of seconds. I mentioned earlier that we want to be as efficient as possible when using this weapon. This is where it all comes full circle. Pairing the Ocucor with a reliable primary that deals AoE viral damage allows the Ocucor to easily build up its damage bonuses. Before the clip reaches 0, we swap to our primary, prime our targets with viral again, switch back to our gun with regenerated ammo, and rinse and repeat. No mechanic is wasted from this build, and it all comes together like a dance. Now, to really show what this weapon can do, I have one final test to demonstrate, the Kosma Test. The Kosma Gokstat officer sports one of the highest HP and armor values in the game, and is a perfect candidate to demonstrate how reliably we can burn through all of that health using every mechanic at our disposal. As an added bonus, I'll even throw in a Riven demonstration. Now that is a thing of beauty. Before we conclude, I think it's appropriate we close out with a proper field test in a real mission, showcasing all of these mechanics in motion. So sit back and enjoy the show.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time. Prepare for life support.
It is worth noting that this build is technically only 90% complete. There are some missing parts that ideally I would want to finalize in future builds. To fill in the Exilus slot, I would install Eject Magazine, as it essentially provides the same bonus as a full synth mod set without the need of a companion. I would also replace Hornet Strike for any of the primed faction mods for an even higher damage output. In summary, the Ocucor can be seen as another possible addition into our armory of dependable secondaries. It requires a bit more elbow grease in terms of investing time and resources, but it is well worth the effort. If you're looking for something that is off-the-walls fun, or wanting to bring a weapon back from the grave, then look no further than the Ocucor. Thank you for watching my first Warframe video guide. If you like what you saw, please leave a like and comment below. It very much helps the channel grow and influences the good old YouTube algorithm. Until then, I will catch you folks later.